Listeners, beware! You're in for a scare. Howdy folks, welcome to Nightmare on Fear Street, an R.L. Stein podcast, and my god, this gingerbread's amazing. Oh god, stop it.
But what's this in this current cake? Oh no, it's dead flies!
Oh no, I thought I saw rats, but I think that just might be because everything in America just tastes like rat.
No, that's wrong. That's objectively wrong. American food is very good.
What? No, it's not.
I love American food.
The only thing that's amazing...
Buffalo wings, mozzarella sticks, frickin' Carolina-style barbecue sauce, aka 1/2 of everything that's in my blood.
In and out, the habit.
Here's my hot take. Here's my opinion. Here's my unpopular opinion. Five Guys is better than In-N-Out.
1 second, let me just take a sip. What?
Five Guys is better than In-N-Out. Solely, I say this, I think the burgers, not necessarily better. In-N-Out burgers are still really, really good, but I don't like the fries at In-N-Out.
They're only good for like 5 seconds, but I mean, they're not as good as
I don't like the fries. So if I have a choice, and you can't have a burger without your chippies on the side, and that if it's a burger lives and dies by the chips that it's served with, in my eyes, honestly.
So you're telling me it lives by the fries, dies by the fries?
Yes, it does. Fries or dies.
Fries before guys. So this week we read Beware of the Gingerbread House,
which is the 5th book in the Teen Power Inc. series by notable and incredibly prolific Australian children's author Emily Rodda, best known for creating the metal as heck Deltora Quest series.
For a person I don't know anything about her, that's a weird, interesting thing.
She's very popular here. I mean, like, I would wager that she's probably our best children's author. No offense to you, Margaret Clark, but Deltora Quest is just on a different level entirely. Deltora Quest is amazing.
Oh, you didn't hear this, but last week Meg just kept telling me about Deltora Quest. That's how amazing it is. So I
was hyping it up so much after we wrapped the episode, and definitely at one point I think we should read a couple of Deltora Quest books.
Maybe I saw some of them.
I feel like you would love them.
I mean, I saw a couple of them, and they seem pretty hardcore. So, Meg, how was your spooky week?
Well, it was, Thursday was Thanksgiving, which, yeah, I know, I'm Australian. We don't celebrate it here, but my mom makes us, my family celebrate it. So we had a traditional roast dinner with turkey, sweet potato bake with the marshmallows on top.
Yum.
Broccoli and rice, and a pumpkin pie for dessert.
Yay.
And, yeah, it was pretty okay. I generally don't like Thanksgiving. I have quite a, bad relationship with it as a holiday for, like, a lot of different reasons that I'm not really gonna go into because, this isn't the Let's Psychoanalyze Meg podcast. This is the Nightmare on Fear Street podcast. But, yeah, I managed to not have a breakdown this year, so I actually had an enjoyable Thanksgiving. And, yesterday I went to my friend Jamie's house to play a round of D&D with the boys.
Did you share a cold one?
And no, we did not share a cold. Well, we had iced tea, so that is technically a type of cold one. It is just not, the one that everybody thinks of. And tonight I am going out. Today I have to work on some animation, and Henry, my lovely boyfriend, Henry, he's developed a method to get anybody to do anything. Like his best motivational method ever. He calls it the Henry method. And what you do is you send him the date that you have to finish your project by and something that you would really hate to see a picture of. And he threatens to send you a picture of it unless you finish it on time. And he has told me that this works. So, if I don't finish this, second of animation that I still have to do before I leave on Wednesday, If I don't finish it by then, he's gonna send me a picture of a cockroach walking on someone's foot.
Oh no, he's like, Henry's a blackmailer. Dang, he's good.
It's not really blackmail as much as it is, like, just threatening to show you something bad.
He just has his hand on the kill switch.
He's got his hand on the Jimmy rustling switch. So anyway, yeah, I picked the book this week, which is why it is very, like, I would say obscure, because I've never heard of this series before, even though I have definitely 100% heard of Emily Rada. Zach, how was your spooky week?
My spooky week was super interesting. Like you, we had Thanksgiving. We didn't kill each other this year. So
Yeah. But it might as well be Thanksgiving, am I right?
yeah. So we ate a lot. I did a lot of fun, kooky things. Yesterday, I think it was the most interesting because I started off the day doing makeup for my friend's short video where we dressed my friend up, my friend Trenton, as a clown. And we went around going through parks and filming stuff for a student film.
That sounds really cool.
It was really fun. I've never seen my friend Trenton get into character before, but it was horrific.
He's a method actor? Did he stay a clown the whole day?
That's what he does. I don't know what he does, but it got like to the point of where I forgot it was Trenton until we took off the makeup.
That's good.
And then we got rewarded with, by the end, I got booze, and then we watched a masterpiece, Meg. We watched a very nice masterpiece of filmmaking.
What was it?
We watched Fateful Findings by Neil Breen.
My favorite movie of all time?
Yes.
No more books!
Oh my
Where
God.
are my pills?
I don't need these.
Thank you. I don't need these.
Oh my God, this movie, this is my first time watching it. You don't talk to me anymore. Don't you want your medication? No, my favorite. Okay, so for the people that don't know what Faithful Finding is, I think I might explain in the. No, we haven't talked. We've talked about Neil Breen. We haven't talked about Fateful Findings. Oh no! Okay, let me explain it because I did this in a drunken haze. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Good.
Neil Breen plays a professional Stephen King-esque writer, even though he's written one book. In his past, him and his best friend found a magical mushroom that gave him like pairs of rocks. And then 10 seconds later, his friend had to go live in a different country. Yes. And then it cuts 10 years later, and Neil Breen is 45, and he's talking on the phone and gets hit by a car, wrecking half of his face.
Even though the car doesn't even hit his face.
No, it doesn't hit his face, except then Neil Breen goes to the hospital and they only bandage up his half of his face, and they put the air tubes all over the gauze. And
yeah,
Neil Breen wakes up and he's magically healed.
And he walks home and he bleeds all over the shower.
And then his wife comes in and they have a really weird, awkward love scene where Neil Breen still has the gauze all over his face.
It's the worst. And you get to see a lot of Neil Breen butt, more Neil Breen butt than you ever need to see.
Okay, and then a lot doesn't happen except that his best friend's a terrible alcoholic. Even though he never says it, he just has booze with him every chance he gets, and he loves his Ferrari.
And his wife is gonna shoot that car all full of holes, and then he's like, no, and she shoots him, and then she goes, he killed himself, and Neil Breen comes in.
Oh no, you forgot the daughter. She looks at it and she's like,
oh yeah, the daughter's like,
him.
You did this.
Yeah, you did this.
You
Dad
killed him.
There's a good 10
Don't look, he killed himself. And then Neil Breen comes in and goes, I can't believe you committed suicide.
No, he doesn't say it like that. He's like this. He's like, I can't believe you committed suicide. I just can't believe it. And then he starts putting his friend's blood on his face to make it more dramatic.
I can't help you out of this one, Jim.
And then the movie gets boring for a while. And then Neil Brink exposes the conspiracies of the world at a press conference in front of, like, the White House.
And then all of the CEOs kill themselves.
Like,
Yeah.
in, like, funny ways. Like, one guy just shoots himself in the head right during the press conference.
I resign today as president of the bank.
Yeah, he's the president of the bank. And my favorite one's the girl that, like, she puts herself in her car and she doesn't run a hose into the exhaust port. And she just, like, falls asleep.
So did you watch it at, like, did they have, like, a midnight screening of it, or did you just watch it in someone's house?
We bought the DVD of it.
Oh, my God.
And then right afterwards, we watched Space Cop by Red Letter Media. So it was a nice little buffer. So that was my week. I'm just packing and running ready for Wednesday for no particular reason.
Yeah, for no specific reason. I mean, no, you know that I'm going on Wednesday, but you don't know what Zach's doing.
Oh no, I'm meeting Neil Breen in Vegas.
Yeah. But before anybody guesses, he's not coming to Australia. We are not doing, like, a house swap kind of deal.
Oh yeah, I assume Meg's life and she assumes my life.
Yeah, we're not doing that. If anybody's gonna be like, oh, well, what if he's got... No, that's not what's happening. So you want to talk about this cover?
Oh boy, do I. So, in, like, super, like, I want to say canary yellow and white, it's Teen Power Inc. Beware the Gingerbread House. And I want to say this is the most interesting 90s illustration, just because I see this, I would imagine this, like, on a cover for, like, a 90s psychology textbook, or, like, a textbook from the 90s. It's, like, this weird, like...
Yeah, it does. It's got that kind of, like, strangely school textbooky art style. And I think the fact that there's, like, a stripe of white right behind the picture, like, really gives it that school textbook.
It's pretty much like a school textbook, but there's, like, this, like, front, like, right-hand side of the book, there's, like, this girl in, like, this blue sweater, and she's like, oh no, what's that? And behind her's, like, this huge old candy house, and there's, like, this old lady, or I'll say middle-aged, I can't really tell, because she's so blurry, kind of.
Yeah, she's small. She's in the background.
Small. And
she's doing, like, a come here motion on her with her finger, and she's beckoning this kid into the gingerbread house. And then I'll read the back. And on the back, we've got a picture of Teen Power Inc., who, in this picture, they have a dog, but in the book, they never mention a dog. So you got Teen Power Inc., who are, like, they kind of remind me of the Burger King kids.
The Burger King kids?
You remember the Burger King kids?
I have, like, a fever dream of them, because I used to go to this one Burger King where they had them plastered on the walls in, like, 20 feet paintings.
Yeah, so they kind of remind me of the Burger King kids, because they're all, like, dressed in super 90s. But I'll tell you what, this is also very, like, school textbooky, because it's, like, social studies textbook where it has, like, these are regular kids like you learning about how our country's government works, or whatever.
Yeah, only you can prevent forest fires, and here's the 3 branches of government.
And then we've got the logo, which is the little logo is a raven, because this series is also known as the Raven Hill Mysteries, which I didn't realize when I bought this, because I literally got this out of a $2 bin at a Vinnie's op shop close to me. So, this is a secondhand book that I picked solely based on the title and the back of the book, pretty much. This is not a scary book as much as we're used to. This is more of a rad teens solving mysteries book.
Wow, totally like radical teenagers and stuff. Still, what does the back say?
So anyway, beware the gingerbread house. Dressing up as a rabbit to sell cakes isn't Sonny's idea of a sensible job. And the amazing shop called the Gingerbread House gives her the creeps. The rest of the Teen Power gang don't agree. Good money, easy work, and delicious things to eat for free. It seems like a fairy tale come true, but they've forgotten that fairy tales can be scary as well as sweet. Bad trouble lurks for them among the goodies at the Gingerbread House. And with her friends in terrible danger, Sonny knows that unless she acts fast, this is one story that won't have a happy ending. Another great story in the Teen Power series from Scholastic.
Whoa, crackle, crackle.
Yeah. See, that makes it sound... This is a little bit false advertising. This makes it sound very different to what it is.
Even reading it, it's very sinister for the first couple inches, and then it's like, wow.
Yeah, and then it ends up being like, somebody framed Burger Joe!
I'm gonna read the first part just because I find the first sentence to be funny. Dressing up as a rabbit to sell cakes was not my idea of a sensible job, but Teen Power Inc. had done plenty of crazy jobs before, and I've never objected.
Teen Power Inc. is basically these kids, Liz, Tom, Elmo, Nick, Richelle, and Sonny. They are a bunch of teens, bunch of rad 90s teens in the small, I'm gonna assume Victorian town, Victorian the state, not Victorian the time period.
Oh my dear, let us dress up as rabbits and frolic around the mall.
We shall ride our penny farthings to the shopping mall, mother.
Powder, Charles, powder.
So yeah, they are, I'm 100% assuming that this takes place in Victoria because opals. It just doesn't feel like, it feels like one of those like sort of inland towns. It doesn't feel like a big city. So I'm gonna assume it's Victoria. Also, because a lot of writers are from Victoria for whatever reason. So
is this like the Victoria conspiracy? I guess maybe there's nothing to do in Victoria but write or die.
There's Margaret Clark down in Geelong, and then I don't know where Emily Rodda's from, but I'm like, if she's not from Victoria, I don't know.
She's actually your neighbor.
She's actually my neighbor. Biggest plot twist. Anyway, so they're these like rad teens in a small town. They like hire themselves out to do odd jobs for businesses around the town, but whenever they go to get a job, they stumble upon a mystery.
Oh my god, this sounds like a regular like looking for a job in America right now.
Looking for a job in America is more like you never find it in the first place, and also they take your kidneys.
Oh, I take those voluntarily. What are you talking about? They gave me good money for them.
You mean to tell me that you have no kidneys, Zach?
Not anymore.
How do you live?
Zombie Confucius magic.
That's fair. So these rad teens, they do a lot of jobs, and then they have this like rival group in the town called the Work Demons. I don't know why you would hire people that call themselves the Work Demons for one thing.
Because they're like diabolical. In my brain, they were like greasers, so like 1950s greasers.
I was thinking about like, okay, Teen Power Inc. is Gem and the Holograms.
Oh.
And then the Work Demons are like that evil band.
Oh yeah, the anti-Gem. Oh, no, the Misfits.
Yeah, the Misfits, yeah.
That's a hot take, I remember, even though I've never seen Gem and the Holograms.
I've seen literally one episode of Gem and the Holograms in my life because I just wanted to see what it was about, and then I was like, oh cool, I hate this.
But yeah, they're called like the Misfits. I just imagine they're just a bunch of like greasers.
Yeah, okay, so the Work Demons. So this starts off with they've just gotten this job at the Gingerbread House, which is the cakes and sweets shop at the mall, the Ravenhill Mall, which is done up like the Gingerbread House from Hansel and Gretel.
Yes, conveniently like to scale too.
Yeah, conveniently to scale. And the lady that runs it is this creepy-looking old woman called Hazel Sweet. And which one of us is going to make the Reaper the Genetic Opera joke? Because Hazel Sweet is addicted to the knife, addicted to the knife, addicted to the knife, and addicted to the knife. She needs a little help with the agony. Like, and everybody's like, Sonny, why don't you want to do this job? Sonny's creeped out by the Gingerbread House. She doesn't want to do it.
No, she might be afraid that they might burn down the Gingerbread House and insert VFD reference here.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because Sonny is also the name of a character in a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, it's very fresh delicacies.
Yes, very fresh delicacies.
The world is frosted here.
Yeah, so they're gonna dress up as rabbits and hand out pamphlets because there's a bus full of tourists that are coming to go to the Opal store.
What type of tourist? Because they make it very explicit.
Are they Japanese?
I really think so.
I really feel that they are.
Now, this is my perception of reading Australian literature lately, Meg, from just you giving me things to read, is there a really high Asian population in Australia?
Statistically speaking, Australia is still majority white, but in most large towns or cities in Australia, there are a lot of Asians.
Because I've noticed this to be like a huge plot point in Australian fiction from what you've given me so far.
What I've handed you, yes, I have handed you books that have a lot of Asians in them. And I think that makes up for the fact that, like, in the entire of the Goosebumps series, I think there is one Asian person in the whole series.
And then all the other people are like weeaboos.
And also, this is the 90s. This is the time of Pauline Hanson coming out and saying that Australia has been swamped by Asians. And so all of the authors were like, oh, that must be true. Let's,
Yeah, because that plays a huge plot in this book, too, because Sunny is half Asian, and her dad's like a super...
Well, no.
Yeah.
No, her mom is Asian, too, because they go to dinner with her great-grandma, and her great-grandma is complaining about white people.
Oh, I'm so... I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. So, her parents are divorced because, 90s child. He's a professional tennis player who is now a really high-profile tennis coach who lives in, California. And so, her dad wants her, Sonny, to move to California with him. And so, she's really upset. I mean... What about her friends? She doesn't know the guy because he moved out when she was like 5. So she barely knows him, even though he's a famous man.
Super famous.
Yeah, so there's this whole, the thing about Sonny's dad takes up a lot of this book.
And then the other half of this book is, hey, let's dress up as rabbits and hand out pamphlets. But because Sonny, again, I'm not saying that this is low-key racist, but she's the shortest one.
Yeah, Sonny's the shortest one, and conveniently, she's also the Asian.
Yeah, and she's also apparently the skinniest out of all of them, so, the rabbit suit they gave her keeps falling off.
And she does taekwondo, and her sister is really good at playing the piano, and her mom's a doctor, so,
Oh, and don't forget, Sonny's really good at math.
Oh, no.
Don't you remember she had to solve that difficult math problem?
Yeah. This book. The 90s were a less informed time.
A less informed time? Well, I mean, it could be worse. It could be body parts where they literally spoke in broken English.
They do the whole, Chinese people want to steal your organs thing that is a trope for some reason.
Ironically, I was watching the X-Files episode with just that concept.
I know! So, and then there's, so then we have the other members of Teen Power Inc. There's Nick, who's a cool dude. Who wears sunglasses on the back of the cover so that you know he's a cool dude. And then there's...
And high tops.
Yeah, and a leather jacket, I think. I think that's... No, it's denim. It's just really dark denim.
Double denim.
Double denim, triple denim, quadruple denim.
He's pure denim. That's his X-Men power.
He's more denim than man now. And then there's Liz, who just seems like an average, normal human being.
I think she's a Cali girl, but
a little
that's
bit.
Just me.
But not because this is Australia.
Are there such thing as a valley girl in Australia?
No, Rochelle is the one that's really preppy and annoying.
No, I'm just saying, is there the equivalent of a valley girl in Australia?
I mean, I'm sure there is, but I think it's different from state to state because we all have it. It's not just. In America, they're all from California. Here, it's everywhere has them. And then there's Rochelle, who's the preppy, stuck-up one that Sonny doesn't even like and complains about a lot, which I found very, very funny.
Yeah, she's the one that plays croquet all the time and wears she wears the polo as a cape.
Yeah, she's the Heather Chandler of this group. Yeah, and then there's Elmo, who is the nerd of the group, who is very serious, and he follows the news.
Oh man, he's hella ticklish.
And then there's Tom, who's a real goofball.
Man after my own heart.
And he's always looking for sweets. He's like, I'm hungry. I want some more of those finger buns. And then Nick says to him, do you have a tapeworm or something, Tom?
So you're basically saying he's the fat kid, so this is the Australian version of the Goonies?
It pretty much is. It's you got the whole Breakfast Club here, honestly. They go to the mall, and they are... Mrs. Sweet has a very, concerning thing that she does where she will, when kids come into a store, she will pretend to lock them in a crate and then take pictures of them and sell those pictures back to their parents.
No, don't forget, it's if they sit on the special Hansel and Gretel chair, that's when the cage comes down, and then that's when she starts cackling and they close the doors. It's, I think the best way to put it is there's a restaurant in Vegas called a Heart Attack, where if you're 500 pounds... You stand on a scale, you get free food.
Or sort of like the Rainforest Cafe. Do you remember the Rainforest Cafe? And you'd go in and they would have a thunderstorm on the inside and there'd be an animatronic tiger or something that roars at you.
Yeah, there's one in Disneyland. So I haven't got a chance to eat there.
I know there's one in Disneyland. We used to have one in Sydney, but it's gone now. I used to go there all the time and my parents hated it. but I loved it because I live for those dinosaur chicken nuggies.
Those dinosaur chicken nuggies.
I love them. I'm gonna go back. I should totally just go to the supermarket and buy a packet of Ingham dinosaur chicken nuggets and eat them.
Oh my god! But I just like low key like Jurassic Park music starts playing as you're like an nom nomivore.
Anyway, the work demons have been trying to like get Mrs. Sweet to hire them, and Mrs. Sweet is like, I'm gonna keep with Teen Power Inc. because they're cheaper.
Yeah, they work for nothing. They work for food. They're idiots.
They are idiots. Sometimes.
It's like, here, put on these rabbit outfits.
I just want to make a point. Okay, one of the members of the work demons. I think only 2 of them get names. I don't know the other ones, but there's Darren Henshaw, which, reasonably normal name, and his friend Nutter Friend.
I forget. Oh.
His name is Nutter, and we never find out what his real name is.
Well, there's only 2 explanations. 1, he's crazy, or 2, yeah, his parents don't love him.
Nutter Friend. It kind of, if you say it, it kind of sounds like you're saying not a friend in like a weird accent.
Not a friend.
Not a friend.
Man, this guy's nuts.
He is nuts. That's why they call him Nutter. So they got fired from Burger Joe's because Burger Joe said that they threw oil everywhere and put cockroaches on stuff and then put bad meat back in the fridge. But they swear they didn't do it.
No, they didn't do it. They didn't do it at all. And now Burger Joe's is gone belly up.
Burger Joe, we hardly knew ya. So they're like, well, we're going to work for Mrs. Sweet and show everybody that we're responsible. And so their first day does really well. And when they're walking around at the mall, they spot a guy.
A big old fat guy that reminds me of like a really fat, like, weeaboo guy.
No, but he's supposed to be like a tough fat guy with big old eyebrows.
Okay. But that's when they're like, oh, he's the wolf.
He's the famous crime boss, the Wolf, whose real name...
Conveniently at the mall every day.
He comes to the mall, but only when it's cold out, because when the weather gets hot, he goes back to Europe for business.
Wouldn't that be the opposite? Wouldn't he want to go to Europe? Actually, no, probably not. He probably comes to Australia. Wait, yeah, no, that makes no sense. Why?
No, he would go to Europe because summers here are unbearable.
Yeah, well, all he does in Europe is go skiing and count his money, apparently.
And have parties. He runs a huge crime network. Drugs, theft, blackmail, illegal gambling, even murder for money.
Oh my god.
So, I got something that I gotta tell you, Zach, that I realized while I was reading this. Do you ever think about the fact that being an assassin is basically just being a serial killer who takes commissions?
Well, if you put it that way... Oh, I forgot to say, burn in hell, Charles Manson.
Also, yes, absolutely. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch old witch, the Charlie Manson, who's...
The only thing I want to miss about Charlie Manson is he's the poster child to psychopaths and the hype man of true crime.
Well, the best thing to come out of Charlie Manson dying is the fact that all of the serial killer groupies are crying. Their sadness fuels me.
Oh no, stop fueling Meg. She'll reach her final form.
I'll reach my final form and I'll just blast every single person who's ever put a flower crown on Jeffrey Dahmer in Photoshop. If you're one of those people and you listen to this podcast, just letting you know that I hate you and stop. So anyway, yeah, the Wolf. He's a real mean guy because guess what? He goes into the chemist, he buys a bag of jelly beans, and then he eats all of them and he throws the packet on the ground.
And he threw it on the ground.
Because he's an adult, man.
I forgot, because in this they're jelly babies, and I was like, oh, I forgot that's an actual thing and not a Doctor Who thing.
Where do you think Doctor Who gets the jelly babies from?
I thought that was just an invention for Doctor Who.
No, it's a real candy. I can't believe you don't have jelly babies in America.
We don't have jelly babies in America.
What? Well, what are Sour Patch Kids? Sour Patch Kids are just sour jelly babies.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
That's what a jelly baby is.
My life has changed.
It's like a gummy bear, but it's shaped like a little guy.
Oh my god.
And Sour Patch Kids are just jelly babies that have the sour stuff on them. I broke him, guys.
She broke me. So next day, Sunny decides to go in super early because she's going to help good old Mrs. Sweets bake the cookies.
Yes.
So she goes into the mall and she tries to try the front door and oh no, it's locked. But luckily there's a security guard there.
The Irish security guard lets her in.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can't do like an Irish cop impression. Like an old time.
Toy. Nothing to see here. Anyways, yeah, so we've got Asian who is good at maths and Irish security guard, so we're like 2 for 2 on the racial stereotypes. All we need now is like an Italian person who's always like, Mamma mia!
That's probably like the wolf.
Oh man, right? Because he's a crime boss. What if he is... No, but his name is Sidney Wolf. It's not like Giancarlo... Giovanni Crime Bossio.
Mamma mia.
Mamma mia. I'm so angry I'm gonna throw the meatballs at the screen.
Oh, Baba Ganoush.
That's Lebanese.
Oh, this book has broken me.
Yeah, it has. Anyway, so
they go in to bake the cookies because.
Well, she goes in and she asks the Irish security guard, like, "Oh, can you let me in? I'm going up to help Mrs. Sweet." And then the security guard's like, "Oh, another kid came before you, and he was a black-haired guy." And she's like, "Oh, that's my friend Nick. That's totally my friend Nick, because no one else in the world has black hair, even though it's like the most common hair color for a human being to have."
So he lets her in. They start baking the cookies.
But she sees a guy run into the bathroom, and she assumes it's Nick. And then Nick's not there, so she's like, yeah, Nick's gone to the bathroom. So they bake the cookies.
They take the cookies out of the oven, and Mrs. Sweet's like, "Oh, how you guys doing? Oh my god! Oh, there's a rat here, because there's a rat on the baking pan."
And then, my favorite thing about this part is that Elmo's reaction is, his first question is it cooked?
No, I can't say it is.
We eat the rat?
So yeah, and then Mrs. Sweets gets super mad because, there's a rat in the kitchen that's dead and baked on a pan.
I mean, obviously, you would. The cook, Julie, doesn't know anything about this. But she's like, oh, it must have just crawled onto the thing and died.
Yes, and baked into the cookies.
And gotten baked into the cookies. Then the next thing that happens is they're all handing out stuff. Because there's this big group of tourists that's coming to see this random opal store in this small town.
Yes, and they're taking Polaroids, and they're asking weird questions.
And the cleaner is really angry. There's this recurring character of the angry cleaner who's just angry at everyone all the time. And he's just like grumbling and pushing his broom along and being angry. And there's a really funny line that's like, I think the cleaner was trying to convince them that it was an Australian custom to tip the cleaner at a mall.
And then that's when a lady comes out of the Opal store and she starts talking to Sunny when all of a sudden a bunch of security guards come out of nowhere and like, hey.
And the lady that runs the Opal store is like, that's the lady that stole my priceless black opal ring.
I didn't steal it. It's not true. I did not steal it. I did not.
Oh, hi, Sunny.
They pretty much like take her in the back and they...
A very thorough search. So obviously she did have to take the rabbit costume off.
Yes. Oh no, I thought it wasn't Sunny. It was wasn't that the other lady? Not Sunny. Because then that'd be weird and creepy. Yeah. No, the lady that apparently stole it.
Oh, the lady that stole it. The lady who runs the store is also like, I want all these rabbits searched. It could have been any of them. They're working together. They're in cahoots. So, meanwhile, they go back to the store and the cook, Julie, is crying because she's just been fired.
Why, Meg? Why has she been fired?
Because she was baking the currant cakes. And for those of you who don't know, a currant is like a raisin.
A raisin cake? When I read it, because of my dyslexia, I thought it was a curry cake. And I was like, I'll try it.
It's sort of like it's not really like a raisin because I've just realized that what I'm meaning to say is cranberry because a raisin is just a dried grape. Like a scone or a bun or something with like little currants in it and then icing on top.
Oh, yeah. No, most definitely.
Yeah. So she's cooking up these currant cakes, and then she realizes that the currants in the mix, they're not currants. What are they, Zach?
They're big, fat flies.
Dead ones.
Yep. And you can also hear on the wind, you just hear Jeff Goldblum laugh.
I take every opportunity I get to do the awkward Jeff Goldblum laugh on this show.
Oh, I went to Hot Topic for Black Friday, and I bought a Jeff Goldblum shirt. Just his face.
That's so good. You know, he's the face of Menulog here. There's this online delivery app, which is called Menulog. And he does all of the ads for Menulog. And the tagline of the ad is like, less talking, more eating, because you can like order the food without having to call anybody. And then he's like, silence is Goldblum.
Bless Jeff Goldblum. He is an American treasure.
I love him so much. He truly is your country's greatest export.
Yes, he is. Why hasn't he become president yet?
Yeah. So when they're in the kitchen, they notice that the oven is big enough to push a person into. And then Julie's like, wouldn't want someone to push you from behind while you were doing this, would you? Could that possibly be foreshadowing?
It could be, or it could be like in the story of Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah.
Except remember the very first time that Sunny went into the good old gingerbread house was she had like supreme dread of the place.
Oh yeah, she was so scared. And that's kind of like what made me think this was going to be a bit of a more of a spooky, scary book and a little bit less like rad teens solving crimes.
Yeah, except, oh my god.
What?
That's when
they spot the Nutter Butter Gang.
They spot the Nutter Butter Gang, and they come in and they're trying to blackmail Mrs. Sweets.
Because she realizes that the black-haired guy that the Irish security guard mentioned, that wasn't Nick. That was one of the Nutter Butter Gang.
Yeah, it was probably Crab and Goyle.
Yeah. And they were the ones that put the mouse on the tray and put the flies in the currant cakes.
And they also stole a cookie from the cookie jar.
They totally did. One of the things about this book is that I'm not even, like, hugely into cakes or sweets, but this book made me so hungry for, like, a finger bun or some, like, McDonald's hotcakes or...
Oh, you're talking about, like, McDonald's hotcakes, the ones that they ate in this book?
Yes. Like, just something, this book makes me crave, like, a cake of some sort. Because they're always talking about, like, oh yeah, this chocolate slice, the currant cakes, finger buns with icing and sprinkles and chocolate cookies and cream donuts.
Don't worry, for me, I was just eating yogurt and eating Jell-O and being sad.
Well, you know what, after we finish recording this, I am definitely gonna go downstairs and make myself a, mug cake of some sort, because now I've got the hankering.
For cowbell?
I've got the fever, and the only cure is more cowbell. That wasn't even my best Christopher Walken. Like, I could do a pretty good Christopher Walken if you give me, like, more than 2 seconds notice.
Go, do it.
I got a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell.
Okay, so what happens is that two of the buttercream gang, or the job demons, or...
Nutter and Butter.
Yeah, Butter and Butter decide to sit on the Hansel and Gretel chair. And oh no, the joke's on them. The cage falls down. Like, Mrs. Sweet just vaguely threatens them. Right? She's gonna say she's gonna throw them in their oven.
Oh, it's Bradley and Nutter. It's not Butter and Nutter. It's Bradley and Nutter.
A peanut nutter?
Peanut Nutter Butter. That's his name now. That's his full name. His full name is Peanut Nutter Butter Fran. But everybody just calls him Nutter for short because it's like peanut nutter butter as one word.
Instead of just calling him P, they call him Nutter.
Peanut Nutter Butter.
They could have just called him Putter. But whatever. So they vaguely threaten them. They get out. They run away. They go wee 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 all the way home.
And they're like, you'll pay for this. You'll be sorry, Teen Power Inc.
You'll be sorry. We'll get you next time with your rascally dog too. Ruh-roh!
The dog that you have on the back cover, but not in the actual book.
Yeah, because they're the mystery gang.
And, they trick them into thinking that, this is, we forgot the part where he eats the muffin and there's a cockroach in it.
So that's how Mrs. Sweets threatens them, is by making them eat cupcakes with cockroaches in them.
I love this. Don't you like your muffins, boys? Smiled Mrs. Sweet, bending forward. Her nose almost met her chin. Her cold eyes glittered in her shadowed face. Not tasty enough for you? I'm so sorry, but I can only put one cockroach into each. They were such big ones, you see. Nutter shrank back. "You're crazy," he whimpered.
You know, now I'm thinking of it, I think Mrs. Sweets is the, like, Australian equivalent of Paula Deen.
I mean, she's definitely, like, Paula Deen's creepy cousin.
Or Betty Crocker.
Yeah, she's, Betty Creeper. "You're trying to close me down, just like you closed down Burger Joe's. Rest in peace, Burger Joe."
Oh no, Burger Joe's.
I'm sure that Burger Joe is not the name of the guy that runs the store. I'm sure that that's just the name of the store. But I always imagined that there was just, like, a guy named Burger Joe, and he's dead now.
They ate him. He was an actual Burger Joe.
He was Burger Joe.
But then, Meg, super melodrama happens. Sonny gets into a fight with Raquel, and like, that's it. I'm gonna go actually live with my dad in America, because my dad in America wants me to live in America with him.
Yeah, and also because Rochelle's not going to be there.
Not gonna be there. And I'm just thinking it's like an anime scene. There's just like cherry blossoms everywhere.
Yes! And there's like piano music in the background.
Yes.
Anyway, there was like Rochelle and Sonny absolutely hates Rochelle, and there was a great line that was like, Rochelle is the flakiest person in our group. I'm not even being catty. That's just a fact.
Oh, snip, snap, snip.
That was so funny to me because it's like, I know. I had a friend like that.
But then that night, as she's packing to go to American school, she looks and finds an old book that her dad gave her when he was 5, and it is the exact, like, carbon copy of the Hansel and Gretel house. And she knows something's up. Conveniently. Oh my god. By page, as if a contractor looked at this book and like, yeah, we can make this. But no, it has to be a coincidence. And then she realized she was really good at math, because, you know, reasons. That, wait a second, there's only supposed to be 6 rabbits. But why were there 8 yesterday? Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum, bum.
They basically explain this book like a Neil Breen movie, so it's very confusing.
It's like I can imagine, like, she does that thing with the, like, that meme where it's like the woman looking around and the numbers.
Oh, yeah, Wait a second, if there was 6 rabbits, but there was 2 more. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. Oh my god, there's 8 of them. That means Mrs. Sweets is in cahoots with Mr. Wolf.
Well, I don't know how she gets to that conclusion, though.
She doesn't. She just assumes. So then she like books it all the way to like the mall, and there's just imagine like the chase scene music from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. She's like cutting through yards and stuff, and she gets there, and literally nothing happens until
I know.
She like points at Mrs. Sweets like, I know you've been working with Mr. Wolf. I know you've been doing drug trafficking or whatever you're doing. You're smuggling stuff in your sweets, and like she's coming up with like these really bold conclusions.
Like, okay. What would be the point of putting drugs? And also, like, why would she...
So Mrs. Sweets was basically Mr. Fox's bookie, and she was, like, trying to smuggle the drugs out of the country or wherever, because, you know... Because she's kind of like, what was it, like, the postman? I think that's what, like, her code name is. I don't even... Like, weird stuff starts happening, and she's
so
just trying to...
she's trying to frame Teen Power Inc. for putting the gross stuff in the food because she doesn't want them getting too close.
Then why hire people to send out flyers if it's just supposed to be a front?
I know. It's like, why don't you just... If the wolf has so many, like, guys working for him, why don't you just get some of his boys to do this job?
Yeah, just round up the boys.
Just call the boys round.
And then you get, like, a bank heist, too, almost like The Dark Knight.
Except they're all dressed like rabbits.
Yeah. All the Kid Power Inc. comes in, and they're like, we should make our powers combine to make, you know, Captain Australia. But that doesn't work because they don't get their mystical rings from Gaia. But was it Mrs. Sweet? Like, someone knocks them out. She's like, I'm going to burn this place to the ground and collect the insurance money.
Yeah.
And then she's like, to make sure that you guys are really dead, I want to put more children's bones that she conveniently has, like real children's bones.
That's horrible. That's the children's bones that weren't allowed in The Girl Who Cried Monster.
Oh, yeah. So she actually has, like, physical, like, children's bones and adult bones, so she's also going to cover up that she also died in the fire. Becomes, like, a really weird, like, convoluted plot of just, like, hey, let's just have tax evasion while we're at it, too, and I can go to Europe and, you know...
live forever.
With my insurance money, even though I'm technically assumed dead. What?
Dealing with the wolf, you never know when you might suddenly need to die unexpectedly. I just didn't know there'd be cooked kitties in the mix as well. Ah, well, time to put the oil on. So, like, her plan is to leave some boiling oil on the stove and then accidentally knock it over somehow. This is like that whole thing with the Bond villains where they, like, come up with some convoluted thing and then I'll just like, I will leave you now to die, Mr. Bond, and then he stops the whole thing.
Yeah, because it gives him too much time. That's the whole joke in Austin Powers, just get a gun, shoot him in the head, and it's over.
Yeah.
No, you have to give him a chance to escape.
And those cages, like, actually came in use. They're in the cages now. The fake cages are now real cages.
I guess Australian team power, they are able to bench press out of the boxes and get out of the place safely.
And it wasn't drugs, okay? I'm gonna read the whole thing. I'm gonna read the proper, like, explanation. They push her into the oven, first of all. They push Mrs. Sweet into the oven. I slammed the door on her as hard as I could, just like Hansel did to the witch. She stiffened, groaned, and lay still. I might have forgotten a lot of things, but not my fairy tales. And I'm just gonna try and see, I'm gonna see if she actually dies, because oh no, and now that horrible Mrs. Sweet is in jail. Okay, fine, these kids are not murderers.
Well, in our universe, they are murderers.
Yeah, in our headcanon, they are.
It's good old Elmo's like, hey, I think we should bake some cookies to celebrate.
Oh no, we forgot that she was in the oven. Womp, 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 womp.
What about the cookies? Are they burnt too?
So the Gingerbread house was the wolf's post office, said Tom as we sat in Burger Joe's 2 days afterwards. Burger Joe got his store back!
Yay!
Burger Joe lives!
And they're probably, like, really bad burgers, too.
They would be, because, like, a mall, I wouldn't trust a place at a mall that has, like, burgers. That isn't like a McDonald's or something, because, like, the majority of burgers, not good.
But then it turns out that, Sonny decides not to go to American school and stay in Australia.
Yeah, when you think about it, it's obvious. Nick nodded, pushing away his plate. He and his people would pass Mrs. Sweet things like messages or money, or in this case, an opal ring, while she was serving them. So they were stealing the jewels from the store, and then she'd put whatever it was into a cake and pass it on to whoever gave the right password, I guess. She used the specials. It's a foolproof system, except how are you going to read, what if someone eats the letter, or whatever?
Looks like this case is wrapped up.
What if someone eats the priceless black opal?
We'll find out in the emergency room in the sequel.
The last thing she wanted was the health inspectors looking at the food. That's why she was so furious about the work demons. So the work demons were the ones putting gross stuff in the food.
So they would have been arrested faster then.
Yeah.
So in the end, everyone's stupid. Good old Sunny decides not to go to America with her dad. And everyone learns how to tolerate each other.
Yeah, and the ending is, but I'll always know now. Just like I'll know that all the members of the Teen Power gang really like having me around. Not just Liz, but Nick, Tom, and Elmo as well. And even Rochelle, apparently. Now that's really saying something. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Bwah.
Bwah.
So
this was a little change of pace for us. Not so much spooky skeletons, but still very, very 90s.
in my opinion, this book was super forgettable. I read it before even doing this episode, and I totally forgot about half of this book.
Honestly, yes. I mean, there is definitely a reason why I have never heard of the Teen Power Inc. series, and it's because, Emily Rada can do better and has many times.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the equivalent of this book is of a girl having, a diary that you need to, unlock it. And it's like, Dear Diary, today we stopped a weird, smuggling job today.
The thing is, I think I went into this with really high expectations because it's Emily Rada, and I loved Del Toro Quest so much when I was a kid that I was just like, yes! Emily Rada, creator of Del Toro Quest. And then I read through this, and it's a bit of a letdown, because, you go from the kingdom of Del Toro with all its just amazing, cool, radical monsters, and, fighting, and magic gemstones, and dragons, and swords, and magic, and all of that good shit, and then you go to Teen Power Inc., where it's like, oh no, someone put cockroaches in Burger Joe's, and they baked the messages into the currant cakes and stuff.
Especially when thinking about all the horror stuff that we've read, it's going to be an actual Hansel and Gretel. People are baking to his cakes.
I thought this was going to be the ladies killing people or something.
Yeah, like Sweeney Todd. Like,
Or like that they were actually going to be turned into rabbits. But then that is just because the cover and the back make it sound a lot more like a spooky tale than it actually is.
it isn't. It is not a spooky tale at all. I give it... Don't read it. Just, it's very forgettable. I'm so sorry, but it's very forgettable.
I mean, what do you want? This was like all they had at the bookstore, other than like NMOFS.
That's fine by me.
So this is just what I just kind of picked this randomly. Hopefully in the future I'll get some like better representations of like Australian entries into the spooky kids book genre, but this was not that day.
No, it was not.
Zach, I think it's time that we have a little chuckle with our good friend Jovial Bob Stein.
Are you ready, Meg?
Yes, I'm always ready. I am always ready, Zach.
Where's a monster's favorite place to swim?
I don't know, Zach. Where?
Lake Erie!
Ah! Dum.
That was a good one.
All right. So do you want to say the special secret super cool announcement?
We're going on to camp.
But it looks like this camp's gonna be a nightmare!
Yeah, we're going to Camp Nightmare. Oh my god. Meg, do you have your bags packed?
I've got my bags packed.
I got my backpacks too. That's kind of weird. It's like as if we're like meeting up or something.
It's like we're going to the same... Yeah! So, Zach is gonna come down and visit me in Texas while I'm in the States. And we are gonna do a special live... Not really live, but like in the same room as each other episode of Nightmare on Fear Street.
Yeah, so if she sees any of my corny jokes, she can actually punch me in the face.
I can actually push him out a window now.
Yay!
Time to zai, Zach.
Yay!
Time to get wrecked. And we are also going to do a holiday gift exchange.
Oh, yes. We're going to have a very spooky, like... So yeah, whatever you celebrate, we're going to be having like a super, like, holiday festivity, you know, Hanukkah Festivus. Whatever the truck you celebrate, I don't really care. You can celebrate your Lord and Savior Cthulhu for all I care, but we're going to be having a gift exchange.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a holiday gift exchange and doing a special episode of Nightmare on Fear Street where we will actually be in the same room as each other.
It's going to be really weird, I can say.
And I am going to be jet lagged as heck.
Yes. So tune in next episode where me and Meg will actually meet each other. It might also be our last because we might accidentally murder each other while we're in the hotel room.
I might actually push him out a window. No, I won't. I will.
I just come back next episode and you just hear like a robot voice. Hello.
Beep boop. I am Robot Zach.
Meg actually pushed me out of a window and then like they built me up as like Robo Zach.
We could rebuild him. We have the technology.
How much money do you have? I don't know, like $6? Close enough.
You're just like a bin with a brain in it and like brooms for arms.
No, it's like the you know like the toy robot arms you get at like stores. So, like it's like the gun handle, so you pick things up with them, like the pickers.
Oh yes, the grabbing sticks.
Yeah, I just have those. Kill me.
My life is pain. Beep boop. Beep boop.
Why do I operate on iPhones? Meg, where can they find you?
You can find me at Meg Tuden on Twitter. That's at MEGTUTEN. You can also find me at sodasodabanana.tumblr.com, and you can find me on Redbubble, where you can buy Nightmare on Fear Street merchandise, and I promise that I will have a new design up for the holiday season so that you can gift a bunch of Nightmare on Fear Street related stuff to all of your friends and families. And if you have any enemies that really hate this show, you can also give it to them to annoy them.
Or actually, as bonus prize, we're actually going to be selling Nightmare on Fear Street branded coal. So if you want to like buy that,
yeah, it's coal and it's got our skeleton faces stamped on it.
Yes.
So if you're gonna be the office Krampus this year and hand out coal and hit all of your least favorite coworkers with sticks
and eat them children,
yes, and bundle them up and take them to hell in your basket and make them work in a coal mine. I wish Office Krampus was a thing. That would be so funny.
And then that's when all the Who's from Whoville start singing.
Yeah.
If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Suda41. That's SUDA. If you want to follow us on Twitter, that's Night Fear Street. And if you want to send us any spooky messages, maybe we might even have like a little Q&A up next episode. So that will be nightmareandfearstreets@gmail.com. And if you want to follow us on Patreon, we're going to give us money so we can buy ourselves our own gingerbread house and eat all the food.
And do rad crimes from there.
Yes, we do that and embezzle a bunch of people. Not you guys. We're not going to embezzle you guys. We're going to open up our, fake coal plant in Mexico. You can follow us on Nightmare and Fear Street /Patreon.com. I'm Zach.
And I'm Meg.
And stay
spooky. Bye.
Bye.